The seatbelt clicks across your chest with no one there to guide it. You didn't reach for it. Your hands were still hovering somewhere between dream and leather, fingers barely curled, knuckles pale from holding something long forgotten. The belt tightens gently, not as a restraint, but like a hush, as if the car wants you quiet now. Outside, fog thickens until it's nearly fabric, brushing along the glass like curtains being drawn across a play you've already seen, or are about to perform. The ignition hums, but there's no key, no dashboard glow, just a low, warm vibration that begins in the soles of your feet and rises like the memory of warmth from childhood blankets. Your breath clouds the windshield, and as it clears, a single phrase scratches through the condensation. Welcome to Whispers Beyond Midnight. You don't remember writing it, but your fingertip aches as if it had just traced the letters with too much pressure. The car is already moving. You don't feel the moment it starts. It just is, gliding like a needle through static, following a road you don't recall choosing. Every tree on the roadside is the same one, slightly bent at the top, a scar low on the bark like a stitched mouth, and they pass in perfect rhythm, like someone looping a single clip of scenery behind your window. The radio is off, but something whispers beneath the silence, like old vinyl hiss, or maybe distant breath on glass. When you try to reach for the dial, your hand goes numb at the wrist, pulsing with that peculiar sleep paralysis throb. A flicker across the mirror. Was that your eye blinking, or something else's reflection? It doesn't matter. You never liked mirrors, especially at night. Especially when they show things sitting where no one sits. You glance right. The passenger seat is empty, but not blank. The imprint of someone who just left lingers in the cushions. A small hollow, as if memory itself had weight. There's a faint smell too. Dandelion stem, warm pennies, static after thunderstorms. It pulls at your stomach in a way nostalgia never should. The road ahead isn't lit. There are no stars above. Only the slow, rhythmic pulse of the yellow divider lines, appearing and vanishing beneath your tires like breathing. You wonder if the car knows where it's going, or if it's just following gravity's suggestion. A flicker in the glove box. Just once. A soft blue glow, like the heartbeat of a photograph. Then nothing. You don't open it, not yet. You reach for the window crank. There is none. Just a tiny handle that spirals away into the door frame when touched, like it was never meant to be found. You let your hand rest in your lap, noticing the way the seat's fabric feels like skin. Too warm, too textured, too present. Then the fog begins to recede, not away from the car, but into it, folding under the vents, misting over the rear view. And in that mirror, you finally see movement. Not your eyes, but a shape sliding gently into the frame from the back seat. A silhouette where there should be none. But when you turn around, there's only your suitcase, resting quietly where you left it. Closed, zipped, familiar. You look forward again and realize you missed the last exit. Or maybe it missed you. The car speeds up, and you are still in it. The road is straight but wrong, like it was painted in haste. Or maybe not at all. You keep your eyes on the center line, but your peripheral vision is catching things that don't belong. Telephone poles swaying without wind. Trees blinking slowly in and out like dreams you only half remember upon waking. The fog has thickened again, not forward this time, but behind, chasing the tail lights you're no longer sure are on. You glance at the rear view mirror. It doesn't show the back seat. It shows a hallway, narrow, wooden panelled, lit with the low gold of motel sconces. You've walked it before, you think, in socks, on carpet that squishes faintly as if saturated with water just beneath the surface. The hallway doesn't move, but the light at the end flickers. Blue, red, blue. Not sirens, not warning, something older. It pulses like a heartbeat. Your heartbeat. You blink. The hallway vanishes. Now the mirror reflects your face, or seems to. Your eyes are closed in it, despite being open now. Your breathing is slow in the mirror, chest rising with a rhythm that is not your own. And just below your jaw, a smear of black, like oil or old mascara, or the shadow of a hand no longer visible. You reach up to touch your neck. There's nothing, but the mirror shows fingertips, pressing. You look away. On the radio, still turned off, something clicks. A child's voice, so brief and soft you might mistake it for static. Not yet. You whisper nothing in return, lips still, throat dry. But something in the car sighs as though you'd answered. You check the side mirrors. They work, but they show places you've never been. Beaches with no footprints, roads with no lane markings, signs in languages you don't recognize. Some carved backward like the world was mirrored and never corrected. One sign flashes past in the rear window. You didn't read it, but the word floats up in your head a moment later. Return. Your knuckles whiten again. The steering wheel pulses beneath your fingers. Not vibration, not malfunction. Something like breath held beneath skin. You catch yourself staring at your own reflection again. This time, it smiles. You do not. Outside, the fog presses close again. Not like weather, but like intent. It coils against the glass, testing each window in turn as though seeking purchase. It finds the passenger side and lingers there, forming shapes like letters just before they vanish. The car's clock clicks over. 3:33. Still, still, still. You don't remember time passing, but something deep in your jaw tightens, like your teeth have started keeping count for you. And then, without sound, the passenger door unlocks. No one opens it. It doesn't creak. It doesn't shift. It simply is unlocked now. Your hand inches toward the button to relock it. But the car doesn't let you. The switch doesn't click. Your hand stops halfway as if mid-thought, as if waiting for something else to finish the motion for you. You stare at the door, and then, from the mirror's edge, just in that hairline distortion where reality bends, someone else's eye blinks. Not yours. Not anymore. There it is again. The gas station. You remember it not from this night, but from an echo. Somewhere between the spaces where dreams rot and memories are repainted with new shadows. The roof is slanted in the same way. Lights humming like insects trapped in amber. A sign half lit in green neon, spelling out a single word that changes every time you glance. Open. Sorry. Open. Sorry. The pumps are long dead, capped in rust and caution tape, but the door to the convenience store yawns slightly, just wide enough for an invitation or a dare. You slow the car, not from intent, but because the road behind you has dissolved, like breath on cold glass. The fog curls backward, revealing nothing but grayscale space, a void pretending to be night. so you pull in. Of course you do. The tyres crunch on gravel that wasn't there a moment ago. A sound like crumpling paper follows each rotation. The car doesn't turn off, even when you remove your hands from the wheel. It just keeps humming. You step outside. The air smells of warm wires and old pennies. Somewhere in the distance, a payphone rings. 1, 2, then silence. Then again. You don't go to it. You know who would be on the other end, and you don't want to hear that voice in this world. You walk toward the store. The glass door whispers open without touch. The chime above doesn't ring. It growls, low and slow, like something clearing its throat after being silent for years. Inside, the fluorescent lights buzz, but not all at once. They turn on in waves as you step, casting your shadow forward, then to the left, then behind. It never follows properly. The aisles are empty, except for a single wire rack. On it, Polaroid photographs. Hundreds, all black and white, all damp around the edges like they've been left in the rain. You reach out and find one turned backward. You flip it. It's you, asleep in the back seat, face tilted to the window, drool at the corner of your mouth, a reflection of the passenger beside you, blurred as though moving or unwilling to be caught. You place it down. The photo behind it is the same. Different clothes, aged. Another version of you, suitcase at your feet, head resting on it like a pillow. You check the back of the photo. Scribbled in shaky pencil, he never left. Your stomach curls. A clock ticks somewhere, but it's not digital. It's the slow, dragging kind. Tick, tick. Too slow to track, too fast to ignore. You move toward the counter. No one stands there, but there's a cup of coffee, still steaming, and beside it, a receipt. You lift it. Room 11. 0 hours. Paid in memory. The signature matches yours, so does the date. Tomorrow. You hear the car engine shift behind you. Not stall, not idle, but speak. It groans in your name. And the mirror on the far wall, bent in the frame, smeared with someone's oily palm, shows the car door slowly opening again. Except you're still inside it. You blink. The you in the mirror smiles. You do not. The door closes behind you without sound. Not the polite hush of an automatic mechanism, but the finality of something sealed shut. Like a tomb, or a bedtime story never finished. The bell doesn't chime this time. It simply doesn't exist anymore. You take a step forward and feel the linoleum underfoot shift like a warm tongue, flexing just slightly beneath your soles, as if remembering your tread from a life before this one. The air here tastes like cold sugar. Those tiny packets you used to pour straight onto your tongue as a child when no one was looking, and a copper tang beneath it, thick and old. The aisle to your right is gone now. The shelves are gone too. What remains is a corkboard stretching from floor to ceiling, pinned not with flyers, but rows of Polaroids, curling and dust soft. Some of the corners are burnt, others chewed. Every one of them is you. You in flannel pajamas, clutching a teddy bear by its stitched ear. You in a parking lot just before a storm. You, aged 12, running toward a mailbox in some forgotten suburb with a letter you never sent. You as you are now, asleep in the car you just left. You do not remember being photographed, but the camera clearly remembers you. You lift one photo. It's warm. The ink still bleeds faintly, as if freshly printed in a room just behind this wall. On the back, a smeared thumbprint and a single word. Still. Your fingers tremble slightly, though you don't feel afraid. You feel caught. To the left, an old man sits behind the counter. He wasn't there before. You would have noticed. His face is a collapsed thing, skin like dried paper, a nose that drifts to the left, but eyes that are horribly alert, too large, like lenses left open too long. He smiles without teeth. "You came back," he says, as though you're an old regular, someone who once stole candy from his jar and left a crumpled dollar in apology. "You always come back when the loop tightens." You try to ask what that means, but your mouth doesn't form sound. He hears you anyway. "Not with voice," he croaks. "Not here." Thought makes more noise. You want to leave. You start to turn. He taps the counter once, hard, and you see it. A suitcase. Your suitcase. But this one's older, scratched. The zipper rusted shut. A tag dangles from its handle. The tag reads your childhood nickname, the one only your grandmother used, the one you buried with her. You reach for it. The suitcase growls, a low, pulsing tone, like breath behind a locked door. The man's eyes widen, delighted. "Still locked, is it?" he chuckles. It doesn't open until you forget what's inside. You try again to speak, but all that comes is mist. "Time's leaking," he says, pointing up. You look. The ceiling tiles are gone, replaced by a thick, rolling sky. Not above, but underneath. Clouds drifting upside down, lit from below by a sun that glows in shades of bruise. From one corner, rain falls upward, retreating into the rafters like tears re-swallowed. The man stands slowly. A bell rings from nowhere. His form glitches for a moment, flickering, stuttering like bad tape. And in that brief moment, you see what's beneath him. Wires, not bones. Static, not blood. The suitcase thumps. Once. You leave it. You turn from the counter, but there's no door behind you. Just another wall of photographs. In the middle, one is still developing. You step close. It's you. Again, you're inside the store. You're holding a photograph. You're looking into the camera. The flash never happened. But you blink anyway. You blink again. When your eyes open, the store is gone. Not empty. Gone. No counter. No corkboard. No man with camera eyes. Just the car idling in the gravel lot, where the fog thickens like a tide returning to shore. It licks at the tires, curls around the undercarriage, seeps into the seams of the doors with a patience that feels practiced, like it's done this before. You step back toward it, and the gravel now clicks like bone, each stone beneath your shoe, crunching as if hollow, as if they remember being something else. The car door is open again, though you never heard it. The interior light pulses gently, like a firefly caught in a lung. You slide into the driver's seat, though the car no longer feels like it belongs to you. The seat is warm, not just recently used warm, lived in. There's a dent where a body rested too long. Your body, perhaps, or someone close enough. The fog presses harder now, not from outside, but in. It curls along your ankles like a cat, affectionate and uninvited. You reach to close the door, but before your hand finds it, the door shuts itself, gently, with the sound of breath being held. The fog doesn't stop at your feet. It rises, slow, reverent, like incense, like memory. Your vision narrows, not from fear, but from softness, edges dulling, headlights no longer reaching far enough to explain anything. The trees blur into suggestion. The road curves in places it didn't before. You place your hand on the wheel. It pulses once beneath your palm, alive. The dashboard no longer displays speed. The dial points nowhere, twitching in slow arcs, a pendulum trapped in confusion. The gas tank glows full, then empty, then simply vanishes from the display. You lean forward to wipe the fog from the windshield. But it's not fog anymore. It's a face. Not yours. Not quite. It stares back at you from the other side of the glass. Its eyes soft and sorrowful. Mouth slightly open like it wants to say something but knows you won't hear. It looks like someone you almost became. Someone you were on a Tuesday you've forgotten. You watch it raise a hand and press its palm to the glass. You feel warmth on your cheek. But the inside of the car is cold. You blink. The face is gone. The windshield is clear. A single word has appeared in the dew that coats the glass. Drift. You sit back. Let the engine idle. It sounds like ocean waves, like radio static, like someone gently tearing paper. You realize you've been driving this whole time. The trees outside move in a slow, choreographed dance. The headlights cut through nothing. The radio knob twitches once. Then a voice. Cracked, low, and almost tender. You're still here. The voice doesn't belong to you, but it's using your memory to speak. It drips with recognition, like the smell of old perfume in a stranger's coat. You try to change the station. The dial spins endlessly. No resistance. The static shifts, but never clears. Underneath, you hear a familiar laugh. Yours, maybe, but younger, lighter. The clock blinks. Still 3:33. Still. You rest your head back against the seat, and for a moment, just a moment, you wonder if you ever left the photograph. The road doesn't stretch anymore. It folds. One corner of night turning inward like a page in an ancient atlas, creased with thumbprints and stained with spilt thoughts. You drive not forward, but into something. Remembered. The fog makes no sound now. It just watches, like breath held behind wallpaper. Then the headlights catch something familiar. A low structure crouched beside the road, like it's ashamed to be seen. Paint peeled in strips. One buzzing light over the door, struggling to illuminate a single sign. You pull in before you can choose to. The building is too small to be a diner, too bright to be a dream. It hums, not with electricity, but with a soft, aching frequency, like the hum a television makes when muted, heard only in bones. You leave the engine running and step out. There's a window on the far side. In it, a clock. It blinks. 3:33. Then again. 3:33. Then again. Still. 3:33. You press your forehead to the glass. The inside of the room is lined with booths, each one empty, except for the last. Someone is sitting there. You squint. It's hard to see them. The angle's wrong. Their body is shadowed, features hazed over like condensation smeared across memory. But you know them, the way you know a tune from a lullaby hummed long ago behind a locked door, the way you know the weight of a gaze that used to tuck you in. They're watching the clock, not moving, waiting for it to change. It doesn't. 3:33. Still, the door opens at your touch. The bell above doesn't ring. It wheezes like lungs after crying. Inside, it smells like dust on fabric, like heat trapped in a room no one lives in anymore. The booths are clean, the floor swept, the air warm. But wrong. Like someone cleaned the memory of it, not the place itself. You walk slowly down the aisle. In each booth, photographs, printed and framed, none on the walls, just placed flat on the tables like offerings. You glance at one. It's you, younger, sitting at a booth just like this, across from someone whose face has been blurred out with marker. Next table, you again. Hair longer, staring out the window at a fog you now realize was always there. The booths grow darker as you approach the end. The last one, occupied. You stop. The figure is still. Their hands are folded on the table. A mug in front of them. Steam curls upward, but moves sideways, like gravity forgot its role. You move around the booth, slowly, and see yourself, older, not by age, but by weight, skin dulled, mouth tired, shoulders hunched in ways you don't yet carry. Your eyes are closed, but not sleeping, just pausing. A soft ticking begins, not from the clock, but beneath the table. You crouch and look. There it is, the same motel alarm clock your grandmother kept by her bed, the one that blinked red into your dreams for years. Its screen, 3:33. You pick it up. It's warm. Not like electronics. Like breath. The figure across the table opens its eyes. You flinch, but the movement is gentle. You speak. You weren't supposed to see this part. Their voice, it is not yours. It's too still, too polished by silence. I waited, they continue, eyes soft, hands unmoving. But you stayed asleep. The steam from the mug is spelling something now. A word, a shape. You reach to touch it, but it scatters. The other you leans forward, whispering, "You have to forget, or you'll never wake up." The clock begins to pulse, blinking faster now. 3:33, 3:33, 3:33. You step back, you leave the booth, you run. The bell doesn't chime as you pass through. The outside world has gone silent. Even the fog waits. You slide into the car. The door shuts on its own, and the dashboard clock greets you. 3:33. Still, still, still. You drive for minutes or hours or the breath between both. Time sheared into loops that fold quietly beneath your tires. The sky never changes. A colourless dome hanging above the trees. Though you've stopped seeing trees, haven't you? The headlights reach out, but they don't find leaves or bark or roots anymore. Just fog and road, road and fog, looping like a lullaby someone forgot to finish. Then, without warning, the diner returns. Not behind you, not ahead, just beside. Same peeling sign, same wheezing bell, same warmth in the walls, like sleep caught in fabric. Except this time, you don't leave the engine on. This time, the car shuts itself off with a sigh so familiar it makes your heart flutter like a skipped step in an old staircase. You step inside, and he's there, in the same booth. But now, it's not you, it's a man. bent at the spine, hunched into himself, arms folded tightly around a fast food wrapper soaked through with grease. He's eating in slow, deliberate motions, as if chewing through something impossible. Grief, maybe. Guilt. You know him, or you used to. Your father, maybe, or the shape memory took when it tried to remember him. His face is soft around the edges, details blurring like film left in the sun. His eyes, though, those stay sharp. They catch yours, and you freeze, like a child in a hallway at night, caught peeking where you shouldn't. He doesn't speak. He just stares. And then he points to the suitcase sitting in the booth beside him. The same one. Yours, but older, wet at the corners, the zipper teeth rusted but shivering, like it might unzip if you just looked at it long enough. I packed it for you, he says finally, voice rough from silence, like gravel rolling in a throat. You left everything important behind. You don't answer. Your mouth tastes like chalk, like a dream rubbed out too fast. He unwraps another sandwich. Ketchup spills onto his wrist. He doesn't notice. I keep waiting, he mutters. You never arrive, but you never stop arriving either. You glance at the suitcase. It's breathing now, inhaling slowly, with a patience that feels ancestral. What's inside? You ask, though you know better. He looks up sharply. Ketchup drips onto the table, forms a perfect circle, then blurs into a clock face. 3:33. Of course. Don't ask, he says. It remembers when you lie. You blink. The lights above you flicker. Not off, but inward, as if retreating into themselves. The whole booth dims except his eyes, which glow faintly with the same pale light as a dashboard in sleep mode. You sit down across from him. The seat is wet, not damp, wet. The fabric releases the scent of old pennies and wet leaves, and something like childhood left in the rain. He pushes the suitcase closer. It touches your thigh. It hums. You used to talk in your sleep, he says. You'd whisper the same name over and over. What name? He opens his mouth. No sound comes out, just static from the suitcase, from his lips, from the booth. The static says the name, but backwards. Then again, each time closer to something familiar, but never fully reaching it. He stares at the ceiling, then says, You still have the key, don't you? You check your pocket. There's something there now. A motel room key. Brass, cold. Engraved with the number 11. You hold it up. He nods, slowly, like that number means more than a room, more than a door. He begins to cry, softly, as if remembering is painful, but forgetting is worse. You stand. He doesn't stop you. The suitcase remains on the seat. The door opens for you this time, with a long, low sigh, and the fog outside parts like curtains, revealing only road. You don't remember turning the ignition, but the engine hums again. You glance at the mirror. The booth behind you is empty, but there's ketchup on your hands now. You didn't eat anything. The fog is closer now. It doesn't wait for permission. It slides beneath the wheel, coils around the pedal, drips into the seams of your seatbelt. You feel it resting along your shoulder like a child's head. or a memory heavy with things unsaid. You try not to breathe too deeply. It smells like static and soap and the inside of a song you've forgotten how to sing. You drive again. Of course you do. There is no other choice. The radio is off. You make sure of it. The dial is turned all the way down, the knobs untouched. And still, there it is, beneath the hum of the car, beneath your heartbeat, a soft breath of static, like a whisper caught between two frequencies. You glance down. Nothing has changed. You look back at the road. Fog swells like surf, revealing the lines just ahead in careful succession. They pulse with an almost musical rhythm, a metronome for sleepwalkers. Then you hear it, not from the speakers, not even from the dashboard, but from inside the walls of the car. A hum, low, circular, full of old language and broken glass. The sound of a hymn being hummed by someone who doesn't believe anymore. You keep your eyes on the road, and the voice begins. Your voice. Backwards. It unfurls in a gentle, guttural spin. You recognize syllables spoken through sleep, familiar patterns reversed, your childhood nickname, the words you muttered into your pillow at 10 years old when the thunder sounded like footsteps. They all return, jumbled, warped, echoing from behind the glove box. You reach for the dial. The hum stops. You blink, glance to your right. Passenger seat, empty. But the seatbelt is buckled, tightly. You try to rewind. Did you hear the click? Did you feel the shift in weight? No, you didn't. But you did. You adjust the mirror slightly. And the voice hums again, soft, slow, reversed. It speaks a name you haven't told anyone. Not ever. Not even yourself. Not really. You look at the radio. It's off. Still. But the knob turns, just slightly, on its own. The numbers flicker, phasing through strange stations. 13.7, 0.0, 111.1. None real. All real. You stare at it. The sound vanishes. You look away. It starts again. Each time you don't watch, it sings. Your name in an ancient lullaby. You test it. Turn your head. Voice hums. Turn back. Silence. Your heart beats faster, as though your chest wants to answer the song, but your skin isn't ready. Not yet. Then you hear it. A voice layered beneath the reversed version of your own. A child, laughing, soft, then crying, soft, then whispering. Don't look back. It sees you when you do. Your hand trembles. You grip the wheel harder. The car curves slightly to the left, without guidance. You follow. The road doesn't feel straight anymore. You're not sure it ever was. Then a flicker of light. The glove box glows. Again. A slow throb, like a flashlight underwater, pulsing inward. You reach toward it, this time with purpose. Your fingers touch the latch. It clicks. Inside, a mirror, small, round, cracked. You see your reflection inside it, barely, not because of the damage, but because it's not following you. You move your head. The reflection doesn't. Its eyes are shut. Its mouth whispers along with the radio hum. You drop the mirror. The light inside the glove box vanishes. But the hum continues. The child's voice returns. Almost there. Where? The road bends again. You glance at the clock. Still 3:33. But now the numbers are upside down. The passenger seat sighs. You don't look. You don't look. You don't look. The road narrows. You're sure of it now. The shoulder shrinks like a receding memory, and the lines on either side pulse in a rhythm, slightly out of sync with your own heart, like two metronomes fighting for control. The fog no longer surrounds the car. It clings like a wet shirt, like breath caught too long in lungs that have forgotten how to release. The hum fades. The silence that replaces it is worse. You adjust your seat. It feels different. Lower. Warmer. Like someone else had been here just before, and their shape hasn't fully lifted. You glance to the passenger side. The belt is still buckled. You don't remember unbuckling it. You don't remember who buckled it. Your hand moves to the center console. Not because you're looking for something, more like your fingers know something is there and want to remember first. They find it. A globe. Cold. Glass. No bigger than a fist. You lift it. It's heavy. Too heavy. Inside, a miniature version of this very rest stop. The glowing sign. The booth where the man wept ketchup. The pumps dead and leaking shadow. But that's not what makes your breath catch. It's raining inside the globe. Not snow, rain, falling upward. Each drop lifts gently, as if gravity were reversed or forgotten or politely declined. They rise until the top clouds with moisture, and then slowly reset. A loop, an impossibility. You shake it without meaning to. Nothing changes. The droplets rise again. Inside the car, the lights dim. Not the dashboard. Those are already blank. The light from nowhere. That's what fades. You look into the globe again. The booth is occupied now. By you. Miniature. Still. Staring out. Your expression is unreadable. A blur beneath the glass. You try to look away, but your own reflection holds you there. Not in the globe, but in the window beside you. The glass has turned reflective, though you know it wasn't before. You see yourself. Pale. Uneasy. But behind you, through the back window, another figure. No shape, no face, just an outline. A distortion in the air, like heat rising from pavement. You turn. The back seat is empty. The globe slips from your hand. But it doesn't fall. It hangs in the air for a moment, then lowers slowly into your lap, as if placed there by something you didn't notice. You hold it again. Firmer this time. The globe is warm now, almost pulsing. You press it gently to your ear. You hear waves. No, not waves. Breathing. Soft. Asleep. Not yours. You reach for the glove box again. You don't know why. It opens before your hand reaches it. Inside, a second globe. Identical. You lift it. This one doesn't contain a rest stop. It contains your childhood bedroom. Faint blue nightlight in the corner. A crack in the ceiling that you used to think was a map. The bed, small, empty, until it isn't. A shape forms. Not you, not quite. It shifts, blurs, glitches like a skipped VHS tape. But it lies there beneath the blanket, breathing. Just like you did, rain lifts upward in this globe too. You lower it carefully, set it next to the other in the cup holder. They touch, vibrate softly against each other. In the radio, static returns. A new voice this time. Not yours, not a child's. It's soft, older, female. I used to hold you here, it says, and your vision blurs. Not from sleep, but from something deeper. Memory too old for words. You didn't know what thunder was, the voice continues. You asked if it was footsteps on the clouds. You blink. The globes both fog, and then clear, and now both show the same thing. The car. Right now. You inside it. Watching them. The rain inside both begins to spiral, not fall, spinning upward in little corkscrews of time. You hear the bell from the diner, but you didn't stop. You didn't stop. The world narrows to a funnel of headlights and vapour. The road no longer moves beneath you so much as recites itself, lines repeating in subtle variation, bends curving the same way they did 10 minutes ago, or 10 years. The radio hisses faintly now, a murmur like pages being turned underwater. The globes in the cup holder hum in unison, a faint vibration against your thigh, as though they're dreaming. Your eyes drift to the GPS unit mounted on the dash. You don't remember plugging one in, but it glows now, a greenish static map, featureless except for a blinking arrow that spirals slowly in place, lost in a patch of empty grey. Above the arrow, destination, null. Below it, ETA. You blink, the display changes. Would you like to return home? A yes/no prompt appears. The touch screen flickers. You try to touch it, but your finger passes through, like mist, like memory. You don't answer. The question disappears. In its place, exit missed 1 hour ago. Then again, in smaller text. Or was it your life? You lean back. The seat feels different again. It cradles you now, more like arms than upholstery. The belt presses tighter against your chest, not strangling, but holding, the way someone might in a goodbye they can't say aloud. Out the side window, trees blink in and out of existence. You think you recognize one, a tall birch with a missing patch of bark shaped like a sleeping eye. It passed once before, twice even. You're looping. You're sure of it. The wheels are tracing circles through something old and soft and dangerous. You look forward again. And there it is, a new sign on the right shoulder, glowing faintly. Letters rusted through, but this time you read it. Return to forgotten. A second line fades in beneath. Only if you remember what you forgot. You don't slow down, because you know you couldn't exit even if you wanted to. Not anymore. The road curves gently right. The fog parts for a moment, revealing a shape on the horizon. A rest stop. The same one. You know it's the same. You see the flickering lights, the half-dead neon humming in anticipation, the pumps standing like broken teeth. And above it all, the sign again, open. Sorry. Open. Blinking in and out of coherence. But you don't stop this time, because you never stopped. Not the first time. Not ever. You've always been inside the loop. The turn you never took. The name you never spoke. The door you never opened. The globe shifts in your peripheral vision. Now only one remains. The other is gone. The cup holder is damp where it sat, as if it melted. Or was never real. You grip the wheel harder, and the car answers, vibrating softly, tilting slightly right, guiding you into another curve that should not be there. The GPS flickers again, rerouting, then destination, childhood. You laugh, just once, and the radio mimics you, static forming the echo of your chuckle with a delay that feels personal. From the back seat, something shifts. Just fabric, maybe, or memory settling into place. You don't turn around, but you adjust the rear-view mirror. It's blacked out now, as if someone painted over it. You wipe it with your sleeve. It doesn't clear. Then faintly, in the void, a pair of eyes open, not surprised, not afraid, just watching. You turn the mirror away and keep driving, even though the road doesn't move anymore, even though the stars have vanished, even though every sign you pass now reads the same thing. You are here. You are here. You are still here. The road has forgotten how to be a road. It unravels beneath you like ribbon dipped in oil, folds where there should be asphalt, cracks where there should be curve. The lines flicker in and out like old film strips, twitching at the corners of your eyes. You've been driving for hours, or you haven't moved at all. The engine sounds different now, not mechanical, but wet, breathing, a low churn, like soup stirred in a deep iron pot. You try not to hear it. You try not to imagine lungs nestled beneath the hood, exhaling with every mile you never travelled. In the back seat, the air grows colder. A draft breathes upward from behind you. You check the windows. They're sealed tight. The glass glistens faintly, like something exhaled against it from the outside. But no, you know that rhythm. It's your own breath. Except you're not breathing that slow. Something thuds in the trunk. You grip the wheel. Another thud. Not frantic, not loud. A single rhythmic knock, like a hand reminding you it's there. Like it has all the time in the world. You glance at the rear-view mirror. Black. You check the side mirrors, both warped now. Left shows the car from above, impossibly distant, as if watched from a dream. Right shows you, profile only, whispering something you can't hear, mouth moving slow like sleep. Thud, thud. You don't want to stop. You do anyway. The tyres crunch to a halt on road that looks like dried paper. You don't remember touching the brake, but the car obeys. It hums once, then silence. You kill the engine. The humming continues. Lower now. From the back, you step out. The fog greets you like it knows your name, swirling gently around your knees, rising like a warm bath. The air smells like the inside of a closed box. You circle to the rear. The trunk looks different, older. Rust blooms across the handle like lichen. The paint is the same colour as your grandmother's hallway walls. You touch the latch. It opens. And there you are, folded. Sleeping? No, not sleeping. Wrapped in cloth that looks like hospital sheets. Hands crossed, face serene. Your hair wet, your chest unmoving, but you're breathing, just slightly. You step closer. The shape doesn't move, but the eyes open. Not in fear, in recognition. They look at you the way mirrors sometimes do. With pity, with patience, with a kind of quiet agreement that says, we knew this was coming. The figure doesn't speak, but your ears fill with sound. Soft, dream-like phrases spoken through layers of memory. You said you'd take me with you. You promised. You left the wrong part behind. You try to speak, but your voice sticks in your throat like a swallowed key. Your reflection, the one in the trunk, blinks slowly. You kneel. The air inside the trunk is warm, sweet with the smell of dust and forgotten fabric. You reach forward gently, as if checking a pulse. The other you smiles. Your fingers meet skin, and the figure dissolves into fog, instantly, cleanly, like breath dispersing in cold air. Gone. Nothing in the trunk now, just the suitcase, the one with the rusted zipper, still closed. A note lies on top. You pick it up. It reads, "Drive until you remember what I forgot." You close the trunk. As you do, the radio clicks on. You never restarted the car, but it speaks anyway. "Ready?" your voice says, soft and forward. You get back in. The engine hums without key, without sound. The road ahead curves right. The fog is waiting. The back seat exhales. You do not look. You drive. The hum of the engine lulls you now. Not like music, like breath. Like being held in a way you once mistook for safety. Tight, unblinking, shaped like silence wrapped in routine. You drive. The road accepts you with the practiced patience of a lullaby, repeating itself just enough to feel familiar, but always slightly wrong. Each mile a sentence, missing a word. Fog curls in spirals across the hood. Not drifting now, coiling. A serpent made of sleep and memory, rising gently across the windshield, painting frost-like symbols in slow arcs that vanish before you read them. You press your fingers to your temple. Your head hurts, not pain, pressure, like a memory trying to surface through the skin. You glance at the glove box. It's pulsing. A faint glow behind the seams. You reach toward it, slower this time, as if the act itself demands reverence. Your palm hesitates just above the latch, and for a moment you swear you hear something whisper inside. Not a voice, but the shape of a voice. One that once sang lullabies through the crack of a slightly ajar door. You open it. Inside, the mirror. The same one. Cracked now. Sharper. You lift it. 7 spidered lines trail out from the center, like veins in a leaf, or fractures in something ancient. The glass is cold. Too cold. And behind your reflection, just at the edge of visibility, is the faint outline of another face. No features, no depth, just the impression of something leaning in. You tilt it. Your face shifts. Not your face. Still yours. But wrong. The smile is too wide. The eyes too calm. The crack running across the cheekbones creates the illusion of motion, as though your other self is grinning in a way you aren't. In a way you wouldn't. You stare longer, and the mirror smiles back. Not you. It. Smiling. Slowly, like it knows something you buried long ago under wallpaper and time. You blink. Your reflection doesn't. Your hand begins to tremble. You try to lower the mirror. It doesn't move. Your wrist won't respond. The image in the glass leans forward. it opens its mouth. You do not. From the radio, your voice, not speaking, gasping, then whispering. He's still in the walls. You drop the mirror. It lands in your lap, the crack bleeding across your jeans like ink. You shut the glove box, but it doesn't close. The door stays ajar, vibrating faintly. Inside, a second mirror, smaller. You don't touch it. You glance at the dashboard. No lights, but the clock is on again. 3:33. Still, still, still. But the numbers are melting now, dripping downward like candle wax, leaving behind only streaks of red. The road begins to curve again. You haven't turned the wheel. It curves anyway. You adjust the mirror on the windshield. The rear view is back, and it's showing the booth, the diner. Again. But this time, you're not in it. Someone else sits in your seat, wearing your shape, eating, with your hands. But they're staring at the mirror across from them. And in that mirror, you're watching. The image fractals inward, an echo of reflection. You watching you, infinitely looped in bent glass and cracked silence. The glove box mirror thuds in your lap. You place it face down in the passenger seat. But when you look up, the passenger seat is occupied. By the mirror, standing upright, perfectly balanced, facing you, your reflection grins, and then winks. The sky has vanished completely. What hangs above you now is not sky, not even shadow, just absence. Like someone tore a hole through the world's ceiling and forgot to stitch it back. The stars are gone. The moon is gone. Only the fog remains, luminous and rising, as if lit from beneath by a sun that drowned years ago. You don't stop driving. You don't slow down. Because the road, for all its fractures and flickers, is the only thing left that remembers how to behave. The mirror in the passenger seat has turned itself again, facing the windshield, watching the road ahead. You try not to think about the way it never reflects your hand when it rests nearby. You flick on the dome light. It doesn't respond. Instead, something buzzes inside the glove box. A soft rattling, like teeth tapping glass. You open it without thinking. The flashlight is there now. You don't remember putting it there. It's a small plastic one, blue, the kind you'd take camping when you were 7 and afraid of the woods, or the woods were afraid of you. You lift it, and it turns on the moment your fingers close around it. But it doesn't shine outward. It shines inward. The beam coils back into the lens, a trembling spiral of light flickering like breath drawn in reverse. It doesn't cast shadows. It swallows them. You point it toward the dashboard, but the glow only deepens the darkness. Then it begins to blink. Once. Pause. Twice. Pause. 3 short, 3 long, 3 short. SOS. You blink. It changes. Short. Long. Long. Short. DONT. You lower the flashlight. The glow dims, but it continues to throb with meaning. You point it at the seat beside you. The mirror cracks further. The passenger belt tightens even though nothing's in it. You point the flashlight at the back seat. It flickers rapidly. You turn it off. It doesn't stay off. It pulses once, then again, as though breathing with you. You place it back into the glove box, but the door doesn't close. Instead, the light inside blinks again. Don't! The radio clicks on, just static. Then, beneath it, layered like a voice under a dream. If you turn around, it remembers where you are. You grip the wheel tighter. The road curves again. You don't steer. The car is guiding now. The globes in the cup holder are gone. In their place, the motel key. Room 11. Its brass glints in the dashboard's faint glow, though there are no lights. You reach for it. Your fingers graze the tag, and an image floods your mind. Not memory, premonition. A hallway, long, tilting gently to the left, door after door, all closed, all except one. Room 11. Inside, the sound of someone brushing their hair, softly, methodically. The flashlight blinks again. Don't. You let go of the key. Your eyes sting. You're crying, but only slightly. Just enough for the tears to cling to your lashes, to catch the glow of the road signs ahead. The next sign is handwritten, carved into wood, nailed into the fog itself. You've been here before. The next, you never left. Then, still time to forget. The radio clears for a moment. Your voice returns. This time not reversed. You whisper, not yet, not yet. The flashlight in the glove box turns itself off, and the mirror beside you smiles. The road is ribbon now, not the gift kind, the unravelling kind. It peels from beneath the car in slow, sensual loops, unravelling behind you into the mist like spooled thought. You drive. You think, or maybe the road is doing both for you now. It's hard to tell where your mind ends and the motion begins. The suitcase appears again. You didn't put it there, but it's beside you in the passenger seat, upright, perfectly zipped. A dull hum radiating from its seams. You don't look directly at it. You don't have to. Its presence is the weight of a full word held too long in the mouth, waiting for breath. You glance anyway. The tag is different now. Not your name. Not even a name. Just a word. Soon. You blink. The letters rearrange. Seen. You touch the zipper. It's warm. The metal vibrates faintly under your fingers, like distant thunder or the edge of a song you know from someone else's dream. You pull slowly. The teeth give way like they've been waiting, like they were only pretending to be closed all along. Inside, fog. At first, then shape, fabric, objects. A smell rises, unplaceable yet nauseatingly nostalgic. Wet concrete, crushed mint, bleach, and the scent of something long buried in a drawer. Photographs, curled at the corners, stained with the oils of hands you've never met. You reach in. Your hand disappears into warmth. Not heat, warmth. The kind that makes you feel safe without remembering why. Your fingers close around something smooth, familiar. You pull it out. A cassette tape, unlabeled. The tape inside coiled loosely, as if recently rewound. The radio blinks to life. A cassette slot opens beneath the dial. You don't remember the car ever having one. Still, you insert the tape. Click. A moment of silence. Then static. A voice under it. Faint, familiar. No. Remember the blanket, the blue one with the holes. You used to hide under it when the thunder came. You used to hum to keep the dark out. You said the hum could protect you. Your breath catches. You know that voice. It's not your mother. It's not your grandmother. It's not your own. It's a mixture of all three, filtered through years of static and grief. You left the blanket behind, but it remembers you. It waits under the bed. You eject the tape. The voice continues. You didn't press play. The suitcase hums louder. You reach in again. This time you pull out a flashlight. Not the one from before. Older. Worn. The kind with a rubber grip and rust at the rim. You flick it on. Nothing. You flick it off. It glows anyway. A soft red pulse. Like a heartbeat through fabric. You set it on the dash. It tilts slightly, points toward the glove box, then toward the suitcase, then toward your chest. You ignore it. Your hand dives deeper into the suitcase. This time, something colder. You lift a photograph. It's not of you, not directly. It's your bedroom, age 7. The window ajar. Nightlight on. You can almost smell the warmth of the sheets, the comfort of routine. But outside the window, a shape. Blurry. Tall. Watching. You don't remember this. You can't, but your stomach does. The photo begins to melt. You drop it. It hits the seat and vanishes like fog. The suitcase is humming louder now, like it's about to speak. You close it. The zipper resists, then gives in. The hum quiets, but the warmth lingers. You glance at the tag again. The word has changed. Open. Your fingers ache. The radio sighs. The road narrows. You're not sure when it widened last. The flashlight on the dash points ahead, and the clock glows softly again. 3:33. Still, still, still. In the rearview mirror, a door opens. But there are no buildings, no houses, just the road. And the suitcase, whispering now, in the voice of someone you once promised never to forget. The road stretches longer than it should. Too many miles packed between two familiar turns, like someone rewound a short dream to pad the silence. You recognize the bend you just passed, only now it curves the other way. The trees twitch slightly out of rhythm. The headlights flicker against a shape that doesn't want to be seen. You pass a motel. It wasn't there before. Or maybe it always was, waiting to be noticed at the exact moment your eyes were ready. The vacancy sign doesn't blink. It throbs. A wet red glow that pulses like something alive under skin. Below it, room 11. Not offered. Not advertised. Assigned. The parking lot is gravel again. Of course it is. It crunches like dry bones beneath your tires as you pull in. The car sighs softly as it stops, like it's been trying to sleep and you finally gave it permission. You step out. The air doesn't shift. It holds you. Too still. Too aware. The building is old. A single-story ribbon of doors with chipped numbers and warped frames. Room 11 waits near the centre, not perfectly aligned, tilted slightly left, like it's bowing or listening. You don't approach it, not yet. Instead, you follow the faint sound of static to the office. Inside, a lobby frozen in amber. Dust hangs mid-air. Wallpaper curls at the edges. A bell rests on the counter, silent, but beside it, a receipt, signed your signature. You don't remember writing it, but the slant of the letters, the little loop in the G, that's yours. No doubt. Dated tomorrow. Room 11. Time 3:33 a.m. Paid. Yes. Currency. Memory. The paper is warm. Not from heat. From use. Like it's been touched recently, passed hand to hand in ritual. You turn it over. On the back, a message scrawled in the ink of your own fear. Check in, or you never left. The radio from your car speaks, faintly, through the walls. Welcome back! You leave the receipt. Or maybe you keep it. You're not sure anymore. You walk the corridor. Each door hums. Just beneath the wood, a low vibration, like trapped voices pressed against silence. You stop at 11. The door handle is cool, but beneath it, warmth waits, slow, steady. A pulse. You don't knock. You already belong here. You turn the handle. The door creaks inward. The room is lit only by a single lamp, its bulb flickering in slow Morse. The walls are coated in soft green, the same colour as your childhood bedroom. A blanket is folded neatly on the edge of the bed. You recognise it. Blue. Frayed. Hole at the corner where your thumb used to rest while you hummed against the thunder. On the nightstand, a photograph in a cracked frame. You, age 9, standing in front of this very motel, smiling like you knew something, or were pretending not to. Beside it, a key, but not to the room, to the suitcase. The same shape, the same brass loop. You pick it up. It's warm. The moment your fingers close around it, the room breathes. Softly. Behind you, the door shuts. You don't turn. You sit on the bed. The mattress groans like it remembers you. From the hallway, a voice. You never checked out. You open the suitcase and find yourself again asleep, not dreaming, just paused. The figure exhales, breathes you in. You close the lid, not gently, but carefully. The radio plays again, from nowhere now. A lullaby in reverse, ending where it once began. And outside, the clock on the motel wall blinks. 3:33. Still, still, still. You wake, if waking is what this is, to the dial tone of a motel phone that shouldn't be ringing. The walls pulse with a greenish hue, like sea glass lit from within. The air is too still to breathe. It hums instead, low and constant, like a machine just beneath your ribs, counting backward in size. The receiver rests beside the lamp, off the hook. You don't remember answering it, but it's in your hand now. You lift it slowly. The dial tone fades. A pause. Then, your voice. But not now. You. Not the voice reading these signs. Not the one you half recognize in the mirror. This voice is softer, younger. A version of you who still believed shadows had rules. You're asleep, the voice says. But something else isn't. You don't respond. You feel the phone vibrating against your ear, like it wants to say more than it's allowed. The next words are slower. They don't forget, the voice says. Even if you do. You whisper. Who are you? Your voice doesn't answer. It weeps instead. A sound too soft to be pain, more like apology, then static, then a click. Silence. You set the receiver down. The light in the room fades slightly, as though it too has listened and decided it's time to dim. You sit on the edge of the bed, staring at the suitcase, resting by the door. The zipper has crept open half an inch. Fog seeps from its seams like steam from a teacup. You stand. The mirror above the dresser is cracked now. 7 thin lines, all converging at your reflection's mouth. You blink. It doesn't. You walk to the door and open it. The hallway outside stretches longer than before. All the doors are ajar. From one of them, room 7, you hear humming. You're humming. The tune you used to repeat when fear made shape behind closed doors. You step out, but the hallway tilts. Not visually. You feel it beneath your feet. Angled. Leading not downward, not sideways, but inward. Each step folds the air around you, like pages turning in a book you never meant to write. Room 11 closes behind you with a quiet click. You walk past room 10, room 9, room 8. At room 7, the humming stops. You open the door. Inside, a child, sitting on the floor, blanket over their shoulders, eyes closed, murmuring, "You." Not exactly, but enough. They lift their face and say, without moving their mouth, "You're early." You want to kneel, to ask, to reach, but you hear the motel phone ringing again. Back in room 11, insistent, growing louder. You leave the child, you run. The hallway stretches further now, an impossible ribbon of carpet and doorways flickering past like a flipbook. You reach your room, burst inside, lift the phone. A new voice. Older, yours again, but heavier. "You forgot," it says. "What did I forget?" you whisper. "The key," it answers. "The one you swallowed." You check your mouth. You feel the metal there now. Behind your teeth, cold, small, familiar. "You never left the car," the voice says. "You're calling from the glove box." Click. Dial tone. You drop the phone. The light dies completely. Only the suitcase glows now. Dimly, breathing, you sit on the bed, hands in your lap, eyes wide, waiting. And on the dresser, your reflection begins to mouth something again. One word, over and over. You know it, even though you never hear it. Return. You're driving again. Of course you are. You never really stopped. Even the motel, even the hallway, even the phone. They were just turns in the loop. Illusions of departure wrapped in dreams of pause. But the tires are warm beneath you now. The road hums louder, tuned precisely to the key of your jaw. Your mouth aches, as if holding something too heavy to swallow. The sky has turned colourless, not black, not grey, just empty. No moon, no stars, no ceiling to this place. You press a finger to the windshield. It feels soft, like breath against cloth, like the surface of memory just before it folds. The dashboard glows again, not with numbers, with words. Continue? Yes. No. The cursor blinks. You try to press anything, but the wheel vibrates once, gently, and the screen fades. Your choice was never needed. You were always going to continue. You pass a mile marker. You blink. Pass it again. Again. The number warps, rotates, rearranges itself until it reads 311. Then 311. Then 333. You slow the car, but the road keeps moving like a treadmill under sky. Then, just ahead, the same tree, tall, split down the center. You passed it earlier. You passed it before. It has a name, maybe. A secret one. Something whispered into your ear when you were 7 and afraid to sleep alone. Your hand shifts on the wheel, and the glove box opens on its own. The flashlight blinks once, red, then again, then again. 3 long, 3 short, 3 long. But it's not SOS this time. It's spelling something new. Morse for stay. You look in the rear view, not for safety, but for confirmation. The road behind you is gone, replaced with another version of this one. And behind that, another. Infinite. Stacked like cards, looped like ribbon, folded like prayer. You blink. The headlights flicker. And for one terrifying second, you see every version of yourself stretched across the curve of time. Driving, sleeping, crying, screaming, forgetting, all of you on this same stretch of road, each loop slightly wrong, each version a little further from the origin, and one version, you're walking, barefoot, car gone, dragging the suitcase behind you like it weighs more than memory. You slam your eyes shut, open them, only fog, only the road, only you. The radio clicks on. A chorus of voices, all yours, out of sync, overlapping, saying the same line. The road doesn't end, it loops, it loops, it loops, it loops. Then silence, then a bell, not the motel bell, the kind from school hallways, sharp, final. You pass the gas station again. The pumps are facing the other way now. The lights spell something new. Sorry, sorry, sorry. The diner is there too, but it's burned down, still smoking. The seat where your father wept is ash, and beside it, the suitcase. Closed. Again, of course. The car guides you past. A voice in the static breathes. You missed your chance to forget. And on the horizon, the tree again. Split. Still. Waiting. You drive with one hand now. The other rests in your lap, numb from holding too many truths, too long. The road glides beneath you, smoother than before, like it's resigned to your weight. No more pretense of destination, only motion, endless and low, like breath passing through the ribs of something long buried, but not dead. The fog retreats in places, not clearing, but watching, creating windows, giving you glimpses not of what's ahead, but of what you've already forgotten. Trees bend backward now, shadows lean inward as if eavesdropping. Your eyes drift to the passenger seat. It's soaked, not rain, not spilled coffee. Memory. It clings to the upholstery in soft stains, shapes you recognize in the corner of your gaze, an outline of a backpack, the wet imprint of a palm, a smudge on the window like a farewell pressed too late. The seatbelt is twisted, damp, buckled, and beside it, nestled into the seat crease, a note. You didn't see it before, but it's always been there. You unfold it. Do not forget me. There's no signature, but the handwriting stings in your gut, because it's not yours, not fully. It's the penmanship of someone who taught you how to hold a pencil, someone who left notes in your lunchbox, someone who used to hum just like you do when afraid. You run your fingers along the letters. The ink smears, but not outward. It sinks like it's being drawn into the paper again, rewriting itself. You look back to the road. Too late. The car has slowed, of its own accord. On the side of the road, a shape. Not fog, not tree. A person, facing away. You stop. You open the door. You step out. The air here is thicker, like water warmed by tears. It pulls at your sleeves, soft and slow, as if urging you to stay. You approach the figure. Each footstep is an echo, not of sound, of feeling, like walking through your own heartbeat. The figure turns. It's you, or close enough, soaked, mouth open, eyes wet, not from weather, but from remembering. You ask nothing. You don't have to. They speak. You were supposed to bring me with you. You shake your head. I tried. They smile. Not cruel, just tired. You left too fast. I wasn't packed yet. You glance down. Their hand rests on a suitcase. Same one. Always the same. This version is unzipped, yawning with fog, humming your name like a lullaby caught in static. The other you opens it fully. Inside, the passenger seat, perfectly recreated, soaked, waiting. They look at you. It was mine before it was yours. You kneel. The suitcase pulses once. Then again, you reach in. Your hand finds warmth, not comfort. The kind of warmth that means someone else was just here. That their body left a mark, a shape. Your fingers close around something small, a photograph. You pull it out, you, in the passenger seat, asleep, and beside you, a figure with no face, just suggestion, looking forward, at the wheel, driving, still, still, still. You look back at the car. The headlights blink once, the mirror tilts, the glove box opens, the flashlight flickers. You rise. The other you fades into fog, without sound, without regret, just gone. You get back in the car. The passenger seat is dry now, as if it never held anyone, as if you imagined everything. But your fingers are still wet. You start the engine. You don't remember turning the key. The dashboard blinks. 3:33. Still. 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 The road accepts you again. And somewhere far behind, the photograph curls at the corners and waits. You drive without watching. The road doesn't need your eyes anymore. It knows where it's going. Or maybe it doesn't matter where. Maybe the act of going is all that keeps you from unraveling entirely. The fog has grown bold again. It moves against the windshield in spiraling shapes, like script being written by invisible fingers. The radio is off. You checked 3 times. Still, it speaks, not in voices, not at first, in thoughts, your thoughts. The things you were about to think, things you didn't know you remembered. You think of the motel hallway, the lamp flickering, the suitcase breathing, the voice in the phone, that was yours, but softer. And the radio says, you wanted to stay. but you didn't know how. You freeze. The steering wheel twitches beneath your grip. You think, don't say more. The radio says, you left the real part behind. That's why you're still driving. You turn the volume knob. Nothing happens. You change the station. No change. You shut the radio off. The knob clicks, but the voice continues. You promise to come back for them. You think, for who? The voice answers, for all the yous you forgot. Your breath trembles. You try to focus on the trees, but they lean in now, like they're listening, like they're remembering too. The fog parts slightly, and for a second you see a playground, rusting, empty. You blink, gone. The radio hums again, now with music, a lullaby, reversed. Then, do you remember the lake? You do, and you don't. You remember the cold, the dock, the creak of wet wood. You remember a hand that wasn't yours, holding something underwater, gently, not cruelly, not even sadly, just necessarily. Your stomach turns. The headlights dim. The dashboard reads, retracing. And the glove box opens again. The flashlight is gone. In its place, a photograph. You reach. You hesitate. You take it. You. By the lake, smiling, but the water is wrong. It climbs your ankles, creeps upward. In the photo, you're still smiling, even as the water swallows your waist, your chest, your mouth. You flip the photo over. In ink, you told me it would be quick. The radio stutters, hesitates. Then in your voice, breathless, I thought it would help. A second voice cuts through, smaller, younger. You said we wouldn't remember. Silence, then laughter. Not cruel, not mocking, but knowing. The same sound you made in the diner booth, the same one echoing through the gas station shelves. The one on the Polaroid corkboard. You. Always you. Slightly different. Slightly wrong. Slightly closer. The radio offers one more thought. This time, gently. Do you want to forget? And for the first time, you don't answer. You grip the wheel. Hard. You drive faster. Even though the road loops, even though the fog thickens, even though the passenger seat glistens again, the radio says nothing more, but you hear your thoughts continue, louder now, whispers trying to outpace memory. Behind you, in the back seat, a suitcase zipper begins to rise, slow, steady, and from inside, breath. Yours, or someone waiting to become you. You speed up without meaning to. The road doesn't widen, doesn't yield. It only stretches tighter, like a belt pulled around a breathless memory. The fog dances faster now, curling like hands tapping gently against the glass, asking to be let in or let out. It's hard to tell which anymore. Then, click. The doors lock. All four. You didn't touch anything. You hear each one in turn. Driver, passenger, rear left, rear right. A chorus of closure. You check the dashboard. No indication. The locks no longer appear as switches. The plastic buttons are gone, as if they've been swallowed into the car's skin. You test the handle. It doesn't move. You test the window. It hums softly and lowers an inch, then jerks upward like a frightened breath. The car has made its decision. You are here now, inside it, with it. You let your hand fall to your thigh, fingertips brushing the upholstery, too warm, too soft, like the arm of someone you once trusted enough to fall asleep beside. The radio crackles. A door creaks somewhere in the static. Not a car door, a bedroom. Then, your name, not spoken, exhaled, by someone standing too close to your dream. You turn the volume knob. It spins freely, never stops, never starts. You press the hazard lights. They blink, but outside the world stays dark. No red, no warning, just the clicking sound inside your chest, like a metronome counting something lost. You reach for the glove box. It opens without resistance. Inside, the motel receipt. Same date. Still tomorrow. But new handwriting. Below the printed text, scribbled in childlike scrawl. You promised to bring me home. You slam it shut. The flashlight flickers from the back seat. Another click. Not a lock. A suitcase latch. You don't turn around, but you hear it unzip. Slowly. Too slowly. As if something inside is savouring its return. You squeeze your eyes shut. Whisper. Not now. The radio responds. Too late. Your fingers grip the steering wheel until your knuckles ache. The material flexes slightly, like muscle. Your palms sweat, and the moisture is absorbed instantly by leather that shouldn't breathe. The door beside you unlocks just once, then relocks softly, like a nudge, a reminder. You stare straight ahead. A sign appears in the mist. No exits, only entry. Then another. Do not unlock while driving. The dashboard glitches. Blips and numbers cascade across the screen like code learning to speak. A final message burns across it. If you open the door, you'll wake up wrong. Your breath catches. You try the window again. It rolls down halfway, just enough for fog to slither in. It touches your wrist. It knows your wrist. You raise the glass. It presses back. You push harder. The glass seals with a hiss. Then silence. From the back seat, breath. Yours. Maybe. It matches your rhythm exactly, and then doesn't. The locks engage again, but you never heard them disengage, which means someone else tried them from inside. You glance at the mirror. It shows nothing now, just black. Then, a single blinking light, a red dot, recording. You turn away. You drive, and the doors hold you, not like a prison, like a promise. The road glows faintly beneath your tires, like it's been charged by the weight of memory. Each passing line pulses with soft light, a dull white heartbeat keeping tempo with the rumble in your spine. You try not to look at the dash, but your eyes keep drifting down, like something beneath the surface is calling them home. The glove box is closed. The flashlight is gone. The motel key rests in your lap now, though you don't remember placing it there. It hums with warmth, as if eager for a lock it already knows. Then, a new sound. Not mechanical, not electric, organic, wet, like paper being slowly pulled from glue. You look at the dashboard. It's bleeding. Not blood. Photographs. They push through the vinyl like seeds breaking soil. Slow and deliberate, curling at the corners as they emerge from seams you never noticed. One slides into the tray beside the odometer. Another seeps from the air vent. A third drops from the underside of the steering column like a tear. You hesitate. Then you pick one up. It's a picture of you, age 5, sitting in the back seat of this car, or one like it. You're holding a flashlight. Your face is rounder, eyes wide, unsure whether to laugh or cry. The window beside you is fogged, and someone has drawn a smiley face in the condensation. You don't remember this, but your chest aches like you should. You lift the next photo. You, at 17, driving, same road, same car, a figure in the passenger seat, blurred like motion or denial. Your hand rests on theirs. You drop it. The next photo rises on its own, half-formed, liquid at the edges. It shows the suitcase, open, full of water, and inside, your reflection, arms reaching up from beneath the surface, whilst fingers spread like flower petals or a plea. You don't look at the fourth. You just feel it slide across your shoe. You nudge it back under the seat. The radio turns on again. A voice this time, crackling, distant, not yours, not quite. You catalogued it all. You thought that would protect you. A pause. You saved every moment but the one that mattered. You whisper, which one? The voice doesn't answer, but the dashboard opens. A slit, thin, vertical, splits above the gas gauge. More photographs emerge, faster now, pushed from within like regrets exhaling through skin. You watch as they spill onto your lap, your feet, the passenger seat. Each one shows the same thing. You, in this car, in this moment, but slightly wrong. In one, you're asleep. In another, your mouth is open mid-scream. In another still, you vanished, but the seatbelt is buckled and the mirror is cracked. Then the final photo emerges. No hands push it. It floats, hovering between you and the windshield. You reach up, barely touching its edge. It turns, and you see yourself, now, as you are, holding a photo, looking up into this moment. The image smiles, you do not, and then it burns, not in fire, but in unmaking, like something remembered backwards. You blink, the photo's gone, all of them are. The dashboard is smooth again, dry, unbroken, except for the key. Still in your lap, still warm, still waiting. The radio breathes. Are you ready to unlock it? And in the rear-view mirror, your reflection mouths the answer before you say it. The road flattens into a kind of silence. The tyres no longer humming, but skating across something too smooth to be real. You watch the fog begin to glitch at the edges, like pixels unravelling in a corrupted screen. Straight lines bending in ways they shouldn't, shadows flickering out of sync with their objects. The first sign you see is too far away to read, but you do. Mile 0. You just passed mile 311. Or was it 113? You try to remember how numbers work. how sequences unfold. But this one stands still, nailed into the air itself, not beside the road, but in it, hovering just above the asphalt, like a thought too heavy to land. You slow the car. The sign doesn't blur as you approach, it sharpens. You stop. Mile 0. Just that. But there's a seam in the post, thin, vertical, almost surgical. You step out of the car. The air is thicker now, syrupy and slow. It clings to your arms, tastes like iron and static and crushed mint. Every breath you take feels borrowed, like it belongs to someone waiting nearby. You touch the sign. The surface gives. Not wood, not metal. Fabric. You press harder. It tears, soundless. And beneath it, an eye, not a real one, drawn, wide and simple, like a child's sketch, but blinking in perfect rhythm. You step back, the sign vanishes. In its place, a hallway, narrow, endless, lit by motel sconces that flicker with recognition. You take a step forward, but the car honks once, softly, like it's asking you not to. You look back, the headlights are dim. Inside, the suitcase has moved to the driver's seat, keys dangling from the ignition. The glove box swings open. Inside, the motel receipt. This time, it's burning at the corners. The ink crawls. If you enter, you can't leave again the same. You step into the hallway. Your shadow doesn't follow. The carpet beneath your feet is wet, soft, muffled. You hear a radio playing from one of the doors, room 3. You pass it. Room 2, room 1. No room 11 this time, just 0. A blank door. No knob, no hinges, no sound. You press your hand to it. Your palm tingles. You hear breathing. Not from behind the door, from within you. Like your body is trying to remember a rhythm it once abandoned. You step back. The hallway folds. Literally. Ceiling bends toward floor. Walls buckle inward like lungs collapsing in unison. You run. But each step returns you to the sign. Mile 0. Again. The hallway gone. The seam now stitched. But the eye still watching, still blinking, still waiting. You return to the car, slide into the seat beside the suitcase. The engine starts on its own. The mile marker doesn't move, but the road behind it shifts. Now every sign you pass says, Mile 0. Mile 0. Mile 0. Each one blinking slightly out of time with the last. A subtle fracture in the rhythm of the world. Your mirror shows a hallway now. Not the road, not the sky, just that door. Blank, breathing, and behind it the sound of your own voice whispering, please don't knock again. It starts with a hum, low, like a thought trying not to be remembered. You don't notice at first, distracted by the road, or what's pretending to be a road now. The lines no longer lead anywhere. They shiver and loop back on themselves, like symbols in an ancient language that's forgotten its grammar. The trees blur. The air shimmers. The car doesn't glide anymore. It drifts, as though cradled in the palms of something too large to see. And the suitcase hums. Not loud, not urgent. A lullaby under breath. A tone meant only for you. You glance at it, still sealed, still old. The zipper rusted, but trembling. A new tag dangles from its handle, frayed, damp, blinking faintly in the dashboard light. You lean closer. The hum deepens. and you hear the first word, a whisper. It's your name, not how you say it now, how she used to say it. Your mother, maybe, or someone before her, the one who held you before you were anything but breath, the one who stitched your name into bedtime and blew it gently into your ear every time the thunder came. The suitcase says it again. This time, the voice is younger. Yours. You, at 5, behind a closet door, whispering to the dark so it wouldn't whisper first. The zipper shifts, just slightly. As if smiling, you place your fingers on it. It vibrates beneath your touch. A gentle, rhythmic tremble, like a purr or a shiver in dreamskin. You draw the zipper an inch. Fog leaks from the opening, no hiss, just warmth, a slow, rising breath. You open it wider. Inside, layers, not clothing, not objects, moments, stacks of them, bound in ribbons, labelled with handwriting you don't remember ever learning. One reads, the first time you lied and liked it. Another, the second version of your grandfather. Another, when you left and never really did. You lift one bundle. Your fingers pass through it, not fully, not easily, like pushing into warm honey. And sound escapes. The static of memory. I'll be right back. Don't forget to take the key. Close the window this time. You drop the bundle. It vanishes into fog. The suitcase hums again, louder now, and the voice returns. There's more. The radio clicks on. The cassette slot blinks open. No tape, but the speaker crackles. Play me. You hesitate. The suitcase opens itself the rest of the way. Inside, resting like a relic. The flashlight, flickering gently. And next to it, a single object wrapped in cloth. You reach for it, unwrap it. It's your house key, from a place that doesn't exist anymore. The metal is warped, slightly melted. But the teeth are familiar. You trace them with your thumb. The suitcase speaks again. Unlock something. You whisper. What? The glove box clicks open. You don't look. The mirror in the passenger seat turns to face you. Your reflection nods, slowly, lovingly. The road curves. You don't steer. The trees open like curtains. And ahead, a door, standing in the road, not attached to anything, just there, upright, painted blue, a brass keyhole beneath the knob. You slow the car, step out, the door waits. The suitcase whispers, go. You walk. The key in your hand pulses. The fog parts. And you know, whatever is behind the door isn't behind it. It's inside you, waiting, listening, ready. The first drop doesn't fall. It rises, soft and slow, like a breath drawn backward. You tilt your head and watch it ascend through the air, past your shoulder, past the rim of the door still waiting in the centre of the road, disappearing into the grey that isn't sky but something softer, denser, filled with questions that never wanted answers. The rain reverses. Every drop escapes the earth, tracing itself back into the clouds, as if time itself has grown tired of this moment and wants to undo it gently. The pavement dries in splotches behind you. Puddles collapse in on themselves. The scent of wet asphalt unwinds into cold stone and metal memory. You stand at the threshold of the blue door, key in hand. It hums. Not like the suitcase, not like the radio, This is the hum of a name you haven't said aloud in years, maybe ever. Yours, true. Not the name you write, not the one you answer to, the underneath name. The one carved into the base of your childhood bed frame. The one whispered when no one was looking. The key burns softly in your hand. The brass warps just slightly in the center, forming what could be a face. Yours, perhaps, if you'd never turned back. You glance behind you. The car is gone, replaced by a photograph of the car, hovering in midair. You walk to it, reach out. It flutters to the ground like ash, gone before it touches. The suitcase remains, at your feet, open, breathing. A single sound emerges from within, clapping, soft, slow, rhythmic. You look up, the sky peels, like wallpaper, and behind it, darkness, not empty, listening. The door in front of you breathes, inward, drawn like a gasp held far too long. You insert the key. The knob turns before you twist it. The door opens. Not outward, not inward, but down, like a trapdoor pulled through the fabric of dream. Below, your bedroom, the one with the nightlight, the blanket with the hole at the corner, the stain on the carpet shaped like a wolf. You descend, or fall, it doesn't matter. You land softly, like being placed. Everything smells like comfort and fear wrapped in threadbare flannel. The bed is made. The closet is open. You walk to the window. It rains upward here too. Beyond the glass, the sky coils and spirals. And standing at the edge of the yard, you, small, waving. You wave back. They vanish. The radio clicks on, without speaker or source. A child's voice. You're almost ready. You look at the walls, drawings you made as a child, now animated. A tree sways. A cloud weeps. A car with no driver loops forever around a bend that leads to nowhere. You sit on the bed. The suitcase climbs beside you, unzips with slow patience. Inside now, your name, spelled backward, one letter at a time. You reach in, pull it out, feel it shape your mouth. Say it once, softly. The rain stops, then falls again, downward this time. The world shudders, and from outside, laughter, familiar, not cruel, not kind, just close. You wake without waking. The room doesn't change, but it forgets to stay the same. The corners warp subtly, like thoughts turning inside out, and the ceiling dips just enough to suggest it's leaning in to hear you breathe. You're lying on the bed again. The blanket with the hole drapes across your knees, soft and still warm. The stain on the floor has grown teeth. The room ticks. Not around you, in you. Your pulse is slower now, but not tired. Regulated, measured, like someone set you to a tempo long ago and never reset it. You place your palm flat against your chest. There it is. Tick. Not a heartbeat. A gear shift. A clock. Tick. You don't feel your heart anymore. Just the slow turning of a second hand behind your ribs. You sit up. The radio whispers your name. Twice. One rising, one falling. Outside, the rain resumes its upward fall. The walls of your childhood bedroom blink once, and the dresser vanishes. Behind it, a door you never knew was there. Its frame is mirror, the handle, a piece of bone. You approach. Each step ticks louder, not on the floor, in your chest. Tick. You grip the handle. Tick. You turn. Tick. The door opens inward and leads, impossibly, into the front seat of the car. You're back in it now, just like that, sitting upright, the blanket on your lap, the clock in your chest louder now, resonating into the steering wheel, into the dashboard, into the seatbelt that hugs you like someone reluctant to say goodbye. The rearview mirror flickers on, shows not the back seat, but the motel room, empty, still. A cassette tape on the nightstand, rewinding itself. You adjust the mirror. The image changes. Now it shows the hallway. All the doors ajar. All the versions of you standing outside their rooms, waiting, watching. Tick. Your head begins to ache. Not from pain, but from too many selves thinking at once. Each you carries something different. A flashlight, a photograph, a key, a mirror, a suitcase. The version holding the suitcase steps forward, looks at the mirror, and mouths, "You forgot to rewind." You glance at the dashboard. The screen reads, "Clock set to manual." You try to adjust it. No buttons respond, but the hands inside your chest twitch. Tick, tick, tick. You press your fingers to your sternum and feel something beneath turning. Clockwork muscle. Polished gears. You cough. And with the breath comes a chime. Soft. Like the kind that used to signal dinner, or bedtime, or warning. You open the glove box. Nothing inside. Just your reflection, curled like a fetus, whispering backwards. You shut it quickly, turn the radio on, static. Then, almost midnight. You check the time, 3:33, still. But the clock inside your chest ticks louder, and faster, as if disagreeing. You put your hand back on the wheel, and it pulses beneath your fingers, like a countdown. Like a heartbeat that isn't yours anymore. You glance at the passenger seat. The mirror has returned. It shows you, but with no chest, just glass. And behind it, where the heart should be, a clock, digital, blinding, and counting down. You don't look at the numbers. You look at the road and whisper, "Drive." And the car does. The lines vanish first. One moment they're pulsing, soft white rhythm beneath your tires. The next they dissolve into fog, unraveling like breath held too long. The pavement follows. Bit by bit it peels away beneath the car, not crumbling, not breaking, just fading like chalk on skin under rain. You're still moving. But there's nothing to move on. No road, no shoulder, no divide. Just the idea of motion. You press the brake. It sighs. The pedal lowers. The car does not stop. You are coasting on concept. The windshield fogs again. But this time, not from temperature, from memory. A film develops across the glass like a photo left out in sunlight. Shapes emerge. A house, familiar, too small to be your childhood home, too big to forget. You lean forward. The porch is cracked, the windows sealed with black tape. A red string stretches from the front door into the fog. disappearing off-screen like a puppet line. You reach toward the windshield. Your fingers pass through it. No resistance. No glass. Only veil. And then the sky splits. You don't hear it. You feel it. Like a zipper, opening above you. The stars pour out. Not light, but sound. Voices. All yours. Layered and tangled. Each one a version that turned left instead of right, slept in instead of waking, never got in the car, never made it to the motel. The sky screams your name, then forgets it halfway through. Your ears ring with unfinished sentences. The car begins to tilt, not from momentum, from permission. The landscape rolls sideways, a sheet pulled across your view. Trees fall upward. Signs spell gibberish in your grandmother's handwriting. One reads, "There was never a road." Another, "You just never stopped." The seatbelt tightens. The glove box bursts open. Photographs spill out. Hundreds, thousands. They fill the car like feathers, brushing your face, your chest, your hands, each one of you, in a different pose, sleeping, crying, laughing, leaving, always leaving. You scream, but it comes out as static. The radio absorbs it, twists it, whispers back, "You were never supposed to remember this part." The clock on the dash flashes. 3:33, 3:33, 3:33, then 0. Then, null. The mirror collapses inward. Not cracks, folds. It swallows itself, curling like a question mark. And in its place, a mouth. Not yours, not anyone's. Just a mouth, open, waiting. You close your eyes, but the world remains visible. Now drawn in pencil, now stitched in thread, now folding. Folded. Gone. The car lifts. Not up. Inward. Into the suitcase, which now sits in your lap. Open. Humming. Singing. With the voice of the friend you never saved. The name you never knew. The dream you never finished. And as you spiral down through the folds of sky and memory, as the wheels spin against the surface that never was, you finally understand. You didn't forget the road, you invented it, to avoid remembering where you really were. And now it's remembering you. There's no car anymore, not really. Only the idea of where the car used to be. A hollow space in the fog shaped like memory, painted with the friction of imagined wheels. You sit in it still, somehow, though the seat beneath you is gone. Your body floats, cradled in posture alone, as if the act of driving is enough to sustain gravity. Before you, nothing. Behind you, less. The world is soft now, pliable, like wet paper. Every blink rewrites it. Every breath bends it. The air is heavy with the scent of static and dust, like the inside of a VCR long abandoned in a childhood closet. Then you notice the mirror. It hovers, not attached to anything, just suspended in front of you, inches from your face. It has no frame, no mount, just glass floating, and behind the glass, your reflection, still, too still. Eyes open, but never moving. You lean forward, so does it. But the delay is wrong, fractional, off by just enough to make your bones tighten in instinct. You smile. It doesn't. You blink. It blinks. half a second after you. And when it does, it doesn't close its eyes. It closes your eyes from inside, just once, and then opens them again. You gasp, but no sound leaves your throat, only dust. The mirror ripples like water. Your reflection smiles now, wide, wrong. The kind of smile that makes promises while hiding knives. It leans forward. You don't. It places its hand against the glass. You feel pressure on your own palm. You raise your hand, unsure, and touch the mirror. Cold. So cold it burns. You try to pull away. It doesn't let you. The glass bends beneath your fingers, softens, like skin. It breathes, once, then opens. The mirror becomes a door, swinging inward, not on hinges, but on intention. Inside, a room, yours, but not. The layout is correct. The light is wrong. Everything washed in pale blue, like a memory filtered through grief. Photographs line the floor. No frames, just loose prints. You step in, barefoot now. The floor is warm. The mirror seals behind you. Your reflection remains. Outside, watching, smiling, trapped, or released. You kneel to examine the photographs. Each one is a version of this moment, you, walking into this room. Some versions are empty, some hold a second figure. Your mirror self, seated on the edge of the bed, holding the suitcase, unzipping it, removing your voice. Wrapped in cloth, muffled, still breathing. The last photo pulses beneath your touch. You lift it. It melts into your hand, leaves behind a key, the one from the motel. But older, carved from bone, smooth from use. You look to the bed. The suitcase is there, waiting, open. Inside, nothing but mist. You reach toward it. The radio clicks on behind you. It has no source, just sound. A chorus of whispers, all your voice. We blinked. We let them in. The mirror flickers, your reflection gone, replaced by a clock. 3:33, but the colon is blinking now. Each pulse a heartbeat in your chest. You place the key inside the suitcase. It vanishes, and in its place, a note, written in the handwriting you haven't used since 5th grade. If the mirror ever blinks first, run. You look up. The mirror ripples, blinks. You don't, but you want to. You turn away, run. The floor folds. The suitcase screams, and the mirror laughs. The walls are too still, too flat. No grain, no texture, just colour. Like someone painted the idea of a room and forgot to give it depth. Your breath fogs, but the fog doesn't move. It clings to the air like dust frozen in sunlight, suspended in the moment just before memory gives up. You glance around. Nothing moves. Not the lamp, not the door, not the shadow of your own body cast on the floor. And then you realize there is no shadow, because this isn't light, it's illumination. The kind you see in old photographs. That sepia hum, that quiet flatness. The corners of the room begin to curl. Just slightly, like paper. You stand. The floor makes no sound. Your body moves as if guided, not by muscle or will, but by an unseen photographer whispering, "Now, just a little to the left." You obey. Of course you do, because you've been here before, and you know how this ends. You step forward. The wall in front of you is blank, but only until you blink. And then it's a frame. Wide, wooden, nicked and weathered like a memory handled too often. Inside the frame, you, now, exactly now, same pose, same breath. But the image is grainy, old. There's a white border around the edge. In the lower right corner, L 3319. You reach up, your hand touches the wall. No texture, just glass. Cold. You're inside it. The photograph. You turn, and behind you, nothing. No room, just shadow, just suggestion. You lift your hand to your face. Your fingertips are flat. Two-dimensional, ink outlines, a smear where your mouth should be. You open it, no sound. A caption forms at your feet. Subject appears calm, signs of recognition minimal. Another line fades in, containment stable. You try to move. The image warps, not from you, from handling. Like someone just touched the surface of the photo with their thumb. You feel their fingerprint press against your back. It's warm, gentle. A voice behind the glass. Almost done. Just hold still. You scream. No sound, only a flash. Blinding. And then silence. You blink. You're sitting in the car again, seatbelt buckled. The passenger seat empty, but the mirror is gone. In its place, a Polaroid. Stuck to the glass with condensation. You peel it off. It's you. Inside a room. The one you were just in. Lower right corner. JL 3319. You flip it. On the back. Still holding. You glance at the dashboard. The radio lights up. And in your voice, "Say cheese." Another flash. White. Bright. Gone. You're holding a second photograph. It wasn't there before. This time, you behind the wheel. Eyes closed. Passenger seat occupied by someone who looks like your reflection if it had never stopped smiling. You flip it. "You left me here. I remembered." The car starts. The glove box creaks. Inside. A camera. Shutter open. Waiting. The key is still in your hand. You didn't reach for it. You didn't lift it. But your fingers curl around it now, as if it had always belonged there. As if your palm was shaped in childhood to hold this exact object. Brass, worn. A motel tag dangling with soft, wet fabric, soaked with fog and some other memory you're too scared to name. Room 11. Of course. You look at the dashboard. Blank, no dials, no clock, no icons, just a keyhole. You've never noticed it before. But it waits, still, silent, hungry. You hesitate, then insert the motel key into the ignition. It slides in with a sigh. The car responds not with an engine's roar, but with breath. A long, slow inhale, as if it's been asleep for years and is just now waking in the middle of someone else's dream. You turn the key. The rear-view mirror shivers. The glove box swings open. The radio hums, not with static, but with song. Faint, familiar. The lullaby again. This time forward. You remember it now? Your mother, maybe, or the woman who used to visit your dreams when the hallway grew too long. The car rocks gently in place, not moving forward, not idling, just shifting. Something beneath your feet purrs, not metal, not rubber, something alive. You lean forward, unsure, and then you feel it. The steering wheel pulses once, and the car begins to move, but not along the road. The world outside folds in on itself, curling like pages in a book half burned and still warm. Trees collapse inward, signs spin slowly in place. One reads, "No vacancy, still checked in." Another, "You left, but the room didn't." You reach for the rear view mirror, and it reaches back. Your reflection presses its fingers to the glass from the other side, mouths a single word. Stay. You close your eyes, but your vision continues, now clearer. You see the motel, room 11, lit softly, flickering with the rhythm of your pulse. The car stops in front of it, though you never press the brake. The door to room 11 opens. A figure stands inside. Blurry, pale, flickering like an old videotape paused too long. You step out of the car, but your body stays behind. Or maybe the car took your shape and decided not to let go. You walk to the room. The figure inside steps back, inviting or afraid. You enter. The bed is made. The radio plays from nowhere. And on the pillow, a second key. This one wooden, splintered, your name carved into the surface. The letters backward. You lift it. The door shuts. The mirror behind it ripples. No reflection, just the hallway. You blink. You're in the car again. Seatbelt tight. Passenger seat full. You don't turn to see. But, you, sitting beside yourself, smiling, humming, and in your lap, the wooden key, still warm, still breathing. The car drives, not on a road, but through the space between rooms, between photographs, between endings. The radio crackles and says softly, "You've been driving in circles, because you forgot the shape of sleep. You feel them before you see them. A weight in the air beside you. The subtle shift of pressure when someone sits on a mattress or slides into a booth before the server arrives. The kind of presence that changes the texture of the silence, stretches it just slightly out of tune." The passenger seat is full now. You don't look, but the mirror does. It tilts, slowly, on its own. You glance at it without meaning to, and there they are, you, but not you as you might have been, or might still be. The face is too smooth, like it was repainted after someone tried to scrub it clean. The smile is just a bit too wide. The eyes glint not with warmth, but with recognition sharpened into edge. They don't speak. They don't need to. You remember the sound already. It's yours, layered beneath old voicemails, tangled in the laugh you forgot how to repeat. Their head tilts, your head doesn't. Their smile widens, yours doesn't. They're humming, a slow breathy tune, not quite a lullaby, not quite language, just rhythm drawn from the shape of the road. You focus forward, but the road isn't there anymore. It's blank, flat, white, like a page waiting to be written on, or forgotten. The wheel turns in your hands. You didn't move. but it moves anyway. The car begins to circle. There's no scenery, only the outline of the motion itself, like tyre tracks on snow in a place that never sees winter. The passenger says nothing, but their fingers tap a beat against their thigh. You recognize the rhythm. It's the ticking of the clock inside your chest. Faster now, urgent, not warning, counting. You open your mouth to ask, to plead, to scream. But the passenger's hand shoots up, a single finger across their lips. Your lips burn. Your voice dies in your throat. Not because it's silenced, because it remembers how much easier forgetting was. The mirror ripples. Not the surface, the reflection. Their smile curls. Not cruelly, lovingly, like someone who's waited too long to be let back in. They lean closer. You feel their breath on your neck. It smells like fog and pennies and photographs you threw away before looking at. Then they whisper, "We don't need two of you." And they blink. Your blink. But faster. The mirror fractures, spiders outward. You look down. Their hand is in yours now. But yours is gone. Replaced. The steering wheel pulses. The dashboard blinks. Driver, updated passenger file closed. You scream, but only inside. Your mouth stays shut. The radio turns on. Your voice. Recorded. Old. "I'm just tired, that's all." The passenger leans back, content, relaxed, like they've done this before, like they will again. The window beside them rolls down. You feel air, but it's not cold. It's the temperature of memory, of something being erased gently, and then they speak again. Rest now, and your eyes begin to close, not from sleep, from absence, and your seat reclines, not from choice, from return. You drift somewhere between seat and skin, not sleeping, not gone, but shelved, filed away in the glove box of your own consciousness, tucked behind motel receipts and memories you forged to protect yourself. The passenger drives now, or something like driving. The wheel turns with no hands. The road doesn't unfold. It remembers itself, like a film reel already looped too many times, edges fraying from being played in too many heads. You want to move. You want to scream. Instead, you listen to the radio. At first, just static, comfortable, like ocean breath, like white noise machines in sterile rooms, like your mother's voice when she tried to sleep through her own forgetting. Then it starts to shift, rhythmic pulses, blips, whispers hiding in hiss, until it sharpens, and speaks a name, not aloud, through you. It doesn't echo in the car, it echoes in your ribs, a name, yours, but older, more complete, not the one you wear now, the original, the one carved into the base of your bones before language. You remember it the way you remember a scent, immediate and disorienting. Your mouth twitches. You try to speak it. You can't. The passenger turns to you. Their smile is tighter now. Their face no longer flickers. It's settled. Onto you. Onto the you that forgot. They reach to the dial. Turn it. The radio screams. No melody, no voice, just volume. The raw sonic shape of panic. It tears across your nerves like glass dragged through water. And beneath it, Your childhood voice. Soft, sleepy, confused, asking, "Why are we going in circles?" Then laughter. A horrible, tender laughter. Yours, but aged, cracked, dripping with nostalgia turned bitter. You look to the mirror, but it's blank, not broken, erased, a clean slate, an invitation. The static stops. One long tone follows, flatline frequency, and then a voice, not yours, system update complete, original instance archived. You feel your body shift, not pain. Displacement, as if your outline was peeled up like tape and reattached, slightly to the left. You breathe in, but it doesn't feel like air. It feels like acceptance. You look to the door. The lock disengages. Click. The passenger turns. Their face is yours now. Perfectly. They say gently, "It's okay. I'll take it from here." You nod, because you don't know how not to. They open the door, step out, and vanish. The car remains. You sit alone, the wheel in your hands. Your hands? You're not sure anymore. The radio switches off. The glove box shuts. And in the mirror, a face. Not yours. Not anymore. It stares and mouths one word. Stay. It begins with a tear. Not in fabric, but in fog. A long, vertical parting, like something reaching two soft fingers into the mist and pulling it apart from the center, revealing not sky, not road, but memory. Not metaphor, not image, not symbol. Real. Too real. The fog doesn't disappear. It stretches, hangs like theatre curtains drawn wide to show a scene you didn't audition for. You're still driving. You're not in control. The steering wheel moves under your palms like a living spine, curling and twitching with instinct rather than direction. You think about stopping, but your feet are no longer part of this equation. They rest against the pedals, but press nothing. The car is coasting on decision alone. Outside the window, your old street. The one you used to ride your bike down, summer sweat drying on your arms, training wheels clattering like promises being held too tightly. You see your childhood home. Dark, still. Then the version of it after the fire. Then the version of it drawn in crayon, posted on your grandmother's fridge. Each memory layered like acetate sheets, stacking and folding as the fog rolls them forward, revealing, not recalling. You see the mailbox you once hid behind to cry, the crack in the sidewalk where your friend fell and told you secrets through chipped teeth, the window where you watched someone leave and never return. The glove box hums. You glance down. It's open again. Inside, a strip of film, still wet, still developing. You reach for it, hold it to the dash light. Each frame is a second you swore you'd forgotten. You clutching the blanket in the back seat. You drawing a door on the condensation of the window. You kissing a forehead and promising you'd be back. You, over and over, until the last frame. A static blur, like someone else took your place. You flip the strip. A single message in red ink bleeding at the edges. You were the fog all along. The road narrows again, but not physically. Emotionally, it tightens around you. folds in like ribs closing in prayer, or like the pages of a book skipping toward its ending before you've finished the chapter. You check the rear-view mirror. No reflection. But there's fog in the back seat now. Thick, pressing, shaping itself into a form you almost recognize. It shifts, takes your outline, tilts its head the way you do when you're pretending not to be afraid. And from its mouth, your voice, half a whisper. I've been waiting for you to notice. You turn away. The windshield shows static now, not weather, TV noise, swirling white and grey, and within it, images. A tree you passed 4 times tonight, a rest stop that never had gas, a man crying over a meal he never ordered, each place stitched into the fog like constellations across a sleepwalker's ceiling. You reach forward. The static crackles. A message flickers across the glass. Continue. Yes. No. There's no cursor this time. Just breath on the glass. Yours. It spells yes. And the fog peels again. This time from your mind. And what you see, what you remember, what you are, is the loop, not trapped, integral. You were never driving, you were always the road, the curve, the mist, the distance, the voice. And now the passenger turns to you, face still yours, smiling, gently, and says, ready for the last bend? The car slows, not from braking, from remembering. The air grows denser, saturated with echoes, half whispers of things you never said but almost did, the pregnant pauses before farewells that never happened. Each breath tastes like the inside of a locked drawer, like something tucked away with good intentions and forgotten for too long. The fog parts, not away from the car, but within it. And on the seat beside you, the suitcase, closed now, clean, no rust, no tag, just stillness. Like a child asleep in a room you haven't entered in years. You rest your hand on the lid. It's cold again, but this time the cold is quiet, not hostile, more absence than ice. You open it. It opens easily. No breath, no hum. Just an empty lining, pale grey. Fabric worn but intact. It looks like nothing, but it feels like something. You lean closer. There's no fog, no voice, no object. But the air above the lining shivers faintly, as though reality is just thin enough here to let something push up from beneath. You reach in. Fingertips brush cloth, then nothing, then something. Not solid, not physical. A sensation you feel. Warm rain on your scalp, a hand in your hair, the smell of wood smoke, a voice humming near your ear, low and looping. You feel a name, not spoken, implied. You feel the weight of a goodbye you never said, resting on your tongue like a key too sacred to swallow. Tears rise, but not for sadness, for memory, for the shape of something that held you once, and never asked for anything but presence. You pull your hand back, fingers trembling, dry, but your palm carries a trace of warmth, like the memory kissed it before vanishing. You look down. The suitcase remains open, empty, but not. It holds everything that mattered, and nothing that survived. The car begins to move again. No hands on the wheel, just motion, just consent. You check the mirror, still blank, still waiting. But when you look deeper, You see them, not your face. Faces. All the ones you've worn. All the ones you've left behind. Each blinking once. Not in fear, not in warning. Just acknowledgement. The suitcase shifts beside you. Closes slowly. All by itself. With a sound like the end of a story you forgot you started. The latch clicks. Soft, final. The dashboard dims, the clock reads 3:34. Then flickers. Then clears. 3:33. Still, still, still. A final sign appears through the mist. Painted by hand, splintered by weather. Last chance to forget. And beneath it, you won't get lost if you never arrive. The suitcase hums once more, so faint you almost don't notice. Then nothing. Not silence. Peace. Like an exhale that lasted years. The engine hums. The wheel trembles. The lights flicker. But the car isn't moving. You're still seated. Still facing forward. Still tracing lines in fog with your eyes. But the landscape has stopped unraveling. The horizon has folded into itself, like a paper map soaked in rain, edges curling in confusion. Outside, the world hangs like a painting paused halfway through a brushstroke. Trees lean, but their leaves don't rustle. Fog thickens, but doesn't drift. Everything is poised on the inhale before a sentence that never begins. You check the dashboard. No speed, no direction. Just a single phrase where the odometer once ticked faithfully. This is where you stay. You press the pedal. The car growls in response, an obedient sound. But nothing shifts, not even gravity. You try the door. It doesn't resist. It simply doesn't exist anymore. Just a smooth surface where a handle used to be, like the dream of an exit sealed behind wallpaper. The suitcase sits quietly in the back seat now. You don't remember moving it, but it hums in soft pulses, like a lighthouse guiding someone who forgot how to see. The mirror returns, cracked, spiderwebbing from the center, but intact enough to show you. Not your face. Not anymore. A version. Paler. Tired. Mouth slightly open, as if preparing to speak, but always interrupted by sleep. You raise a hand. The reflection does too, but it's slow, glitching, a few seconds behind, then ahead, then gone, just fog again. You blink, it's back, you blink again, gone, back, gone. The car remains still, a hum, an echo, a shape. Outside, the fog shifts. Not parting, forming. Something in it. A door? A corridor? You lean closer to the windshield. Smear the condensation away with your sleeve. No glass, just a film. Behind it, a hallway of motel doors. 11 in total. Each one marked with a name you almost recognize. Except the last. No number, no handle. Only a message written in black ink across the center. Drive until you sleep. The radio clicks. Once. Then speaks with your voice. Your real voice. Not the one you remember. The one you use when you talk in dreams. Close your eyes, it says. And let the road keep going. You blink slowly. Your chest moves, not from breath, from rhythm, from the soft, slow pulse of an engine made from memory. Your heart idles, your thoughts blur, you whisper, but I'm still in the car. The suitcase answers, just once, a single click, a latch locking, or unlocking, you don't know which. You reach toward the glove box. It opens before you touch it. Inside, a snow globe full of upward falling rain. And at the centre, a tiny version of this car, stopped, surrounded by fog. Inside it, two figures, you, and someone waiting to be named. The car doesn't move, but you drift. The window opens without sound. No click, no slide, just the sudden awareness that the boundary is gone. No glass, no frame, no resistance between you and the outside world. Fog seeps inward like breath returning home, and the night leans close. Gentle as a lullaby whispered through closed teeth, you sit still, hands folded in your lap, seatbelt snug across your chest like an embrace that no longer asks anything of you. The dashboard has gone dark. The clock has stopped pretending. It doesn't flash. It doesn't count. It simply glows. 3:33. Still. Forever. Never. The mirror has dissolved, not shattered, dissolved. A mist where a face once lingered. You see yourself in the reflection of memory, now blurry, now soft, now slow. A dream of a version of a person who once tried to wake. The suitcase is closed. It breathes once, then sleeps. You glance out the window, but there is no scenery anymore, only presence. The kind that fills a room when someone you love has just left it, and you're waiting for them to return, even though you know they already have. In another way, in another you. You close your eyes. Behind your lids, the road continues, painted in fog, threaded with music, lined with every door you never opened, every face you turned from, every mirror that blinked before you could. There's no engine hum, only heartbeat, soft, rhythmic, the sound of tires on memory, of a suitcase whispering goodnight, of a glove box closing like eyelids. You feel weight leave your body, or perhaps arrive. It doesn't matter anymore. Outside the open window, sleep steps in. Careful, curious. It touches your shoulder, rests its hand against your cheek, breathes with you, and you drift, no longer held by story or shape or voice. Only sleep remains, and silence, waiting. The car is still. No engine, no hum, just the suggestion of movement, like the faint sway of a cradle in a room long abandoned. The fog no longer presses, it rests, folds in on itself like arms, like fabric, like the soft weight of time exhaled. You are here, not driving, not arriving, just here. The seat beneath you is warm, the air cool. The window is still open. Outside, there is no sound, no questions, just that soft, invisible presence, like sleep, waiting for permission. There's no dashboard, no mirror, no suitcase, only the outline of things once needed, now gently set aside. You think for a moment of the clock, of its faithful pulse, but your chest no longer ticks. Your ribs no longer hold the rhythm of return. Now they hold breath, steady, unhurried. You inhale, and the world grows soft. You exhale, and it releases. A final shape forms in the fog. A doorway, maybe, or a tunnel, or the inside of a memory you never had. You don't move toward it. You don't need to. It's already here. You are already beyond it. In the hush that follows stories, in the pause that lingers after the last word, in the darkness that doesn't threaten but cradles. And in this moment, there is nothing left to carry, nothing left to answer, only stillness, only the slow unwind of the road behind your eyes. You drift, no longer held by story or shape or voice. Only sleep remains, and silence, waiting. End of script. Sweet dreams.